Yeah, it's great to be back on this installment of your one-stop shop for sports business news. Yeah, talking about Sport Exchange. My name is Judy Olaniro, and I'll be taking you through the business today. On the show, we'll be looking at how the bandwagoners from the women football have also joined the call for FIFA, the call that FIFA should stop the procedure or the proceedings for the biennial. Yes, that it should be every 4 years, yeah, rather than every 2 years that the World Football Governing Body is proposing. And we've got other interesting stories for you. Our side segment also will be on. And these are some of the things we'll be looking at. On the Dugout segment also today, we'll be talking esports. Yes, something is happening to esports in Nigeria. And Nigeria is one place to be right now as far as esports is concerned. We'll be looking at that and on the show too. Okay, let's just go on a break, and when we come back, it will be time to take the news.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. Women's football leagues across Europe have joined UEFA in criticizing FIFA's plan for biennial men's and women's World Cups, claiming both will threaten how the women's game is developing. Leagues in England, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Sweden said staging a men's World Cup every 2 years will hamper the visibility and growth of women's football. They also suggest a biennial Women's World Cup, a goal often stated by FIFA at the 2019 tournament in France, could even harm women's football before it is matured in less wealthy football nations. World Football Governing Body FIFA is considering relocating its headquarters from Zurich to the US, according to the New York Times. The report says that FIFA is considering both East and West Coast locations. Factors such as work visas and tax breaks are also reportedly part of the decision-making process. It is thought that new offices in the United States could potentially boost FIFA's commercial operations and standing within the US market, as well as allowing the governing body to be more involved in preparations for the 2026 World Cup in North America. Spanish soccer giants Barcelona are looking to raise 100 million euros from their Barca Studios production house to help offset the club's massive debts, according to 2Playbook. The sports business outlet reports that Barca president Joan Laporta hopes to bring in 50 million euros in cash by selling off a minority stake in Barca Studios, with the buyer then investing a further 50 million euros into the club's production arm. Barca announced the launch of their in-house production hub in January 2019, which is now responsible for the creation, production, and distribution of all the La Liga-size audiovisual content. A fictional teen drama series based around the club's La Masia Academy was among the announced projects. 11 Sports, the subscription broadcaster owned by Adria Razziani Asa Ventures, has picked up the Portuguese rights to the Premier League for 3 years from next season. The deal ensures that 11 will show live and exclusive coverage of all 380 matches each season until the end of the 2024-25 campaign. Games will be broadcast across 11's linear and direct-to-consumer channels in what will mark the first time every fixture from English soccer's top flight will be available to watch live in Portugal. Electric single-seater series Formula E has revealed that it has increased its global broadcast audience by 32% year-on-year to 316 million during its 7th season. The championship expanded its free-to-air broadcast agreement in several key markets, including the UK, other European territories, and South America for its 7th season. The updated strategy saw Formula E reach pre-COVID-19 pandemic levels of viewership, despite a shorter calendar and no races in Asia. Those FTA deals helped the Formula E record a 26% increase in live viewership during races. By the end of season 7, live race audiences topped 62% of the series' total audience for the first time in its history. Advertising and marketing company DENTSU has launched its own gaming division to support brands looking to engage with gamers worldwide. DENTSU Gaming, an integrated solution combining the expertise of DENTSU's Japanese network and the global scale of its DENTSU International subsidiary, will provide access to specialist strategy, activation, and original intellectual property development for companies. DENTSU Gaming will be accessible through its production, creative customer experience management, and media agencies globally. And that wraps things up for the news on this segment. We'll be back after this timeout for the Dugout segment.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. Now is the Dugout segment, and we are being joined by someone that occupies so many seats as far as the sport is concerned. On the Dugout segment today, again, we are looking at esports. The global esports games will be holding later this year in Singapore. That's for the year 2021. And Nigeria is not left out in the hysteria as far as the games is concerned. So joining me in Lagos, somewhere from Lagos, is the General Secretary, African Esports Development Federation, Shayo OWOLABI. Shayo, by the way, also, like I said, Shayo occupies so many seats, and one of them is he is the CEO, founder, Lagos Esports Forum as well. Shayo, you've come so far to be here. Congratulations once again on your appointment as the Secretary General of the African Esports Development Federation. And I must say that it is well deserved.
Well, thank you, Jide. Thank you for your kind words. And it's great to be back. I think I was here sometime last year at this same time. So it's almost becoming an annual thing to be on Sports Xchange. Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay. Yes. I know that you're a busy person, so we quickly have to just squeeze a few of your time, of some minutes of your time, so that you can quickly shed some light on some of the things that are developing as far as esports is concerned in Nigeria, vis-a-vis globally. Let's talk about your journey now. How has the journey been so far? Because like a year ago you were here, we were talking about some of the visions and the plans put in place. So far, has it been for you?
Thank you, Jide. So far, so good. It's been an interesting journey, and one that has culminated in my appointment as the Secretary General of the Africa Esports Development Federation, which is a brainchild or an organization that was set up by the Global Esports Federation. And the Global Esports Federation is a prestigious organization that's convening esports the world over, based in founded in December 2019, and we became members last year, September. For us at the Lagos Esports Forum, our journey has been an interesting one. This year alone, we've done a mobile game tournament. We've done a league. We ran a league. Mobile game tournament for us is mainly for Nigerian gamers. So casual gamers and core gamers, we bring them together under different titles: Ludo King, 8 Ball Pool, Call of Duty Mobile, PES Mobile, PUBG Mobile. We bring them under the umbrella. But we came up with a different initiative in February this year alone, the African Mobile Community League. And we ran it on the Call of Duty Mobile, where we had 22 teams playing in 2 divisions, the Premier Division with 10 teams, the Championship Division with 12 teams. They played 7 weeks. It was a league. It ran for 7 weeks, and we had the teams coming from about 5 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, Mauritius, in the tournament. So we did that. Sometime in April, we had the new movie, Mortal Kombat movie. We actually did an activation for that at the cinemas, where we got gamers and some influencers, some celebrities. They got to play on the large screen at the cinema, and we used that to premiere that movie. And of course, like you mentioned at the moment, and that's what is being seen on the screen right now, we have the qualifiers for the Global Esports game just a few days ago, where we had 2 winners: Chukwudi Okoli, who won in the Street Fighter, and Trust Ehigwese, who won in the PES 2021. And those 2 guys would be representing Team LASF under the Nigerian layer at the Global Esports Games in Singapore. So that's the journey so far. It's been an interesting one with lots of work being put in. And of course, we've seen a lot of results and impact on the ecosystem in Nigeria.
There's this, I stumbled on a particular report about some months ago that was actually put together by 2 reports: Esports in Nigeria, the fans, and that brings me to the next question about the role of data and research. Since you guys started, you created the frenzy around esports, and how you've come with the particular sports till now, the role of data and research in some of the things that you've done.
Well, very little role, except social media data, that is. But if it comes to every other data in terms of aggregating gamers and all that, yes, we have our numbers, because for every tournament we run, there are usually entry forms for people to come in. So yes, data is playing a huge role on the global scene, but in Africa, we're not there yet. And I'm glad you mentioned 2 reports. The guys behind it are guys I know so much, and they're trying their best, not even just in esports, but generally as regards sports research and data. But we're not there yet. And I'm sure if you've had them, if you've gotten to talk to them before, you would see their frustration at the fact that data and research is not something that's really appreciated yet in this climate. But then it's just a matter of time for us to come to that level. We know we usually catch up late, and fingers crossed, I'm sure with a few more years, maybe months, depending on the work being put in, because that's another thing. The guys who play in that space also need to put in a lot of work. Without the work, it may not be appreciated as much as we expect. So let's see what happens over the next few months, few years. Data already playing a huge role on the global scene, and I expect that would happen on the African scene also.
All right, we hope that we will also join that wagon very soon. And let's talk about the impact of collaboration on the efforts you guys are putting so far. We know you're putting in the work. Then what's the impact of collaboration? Because why am I asking this? Recently, there was this announcement from the global office of HP about they were excited to work with Lagos Esports Forum and the likes of the African Esports Development Federation. HP, big, massive company. And I know that aside that, there are other collaborations you will want us take us through, right?
Oh, well, yes, as much as time permits. For the HP collaboration, we're excited about that because it's esports education, and it's going into the 2nd session of our collaboration with them. That was signed off earlier this year, and we appreciate everyone who made that happen. And like you mentioned, a global information technology organization partnered with us for this. And even now, because we made the announcement earlier on, now they've made the announcement from the global office. It means that there will be a lot happening with that, and that's as regards the HP Gaming Garage. Now, the beauty of the HP Gaming Garage was it was an idea that was in the works just before the COVID lockdown the world over. And if there had not been a lockdown, there probably would have been an HP garage in Nigeria. Now, I make bold to say, but then they had to halt that. They did that of Dubai. They were looking at some countries in Africa, which included South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, of course, according to some conversation we had with them. And we're hoping that that can happen before the end of next year at the very latest. But that's in the works. We have several other partnerships which will be unfolding over the next few months also. But for now, we're excited about the ones we have on the table and the amount of impact it is having on the Nigerian and sub-Saharan esports ecosystem.
All right, let's focus a bit before we move on. Let's look at the health of players. You know, one of the issues that have been raised as far as esports is concerned is about educating the players as well as looking out for their mental health. Now, this might not be big right now. What will you be doing differently to make sure that in terms of educating the players and taking good care of their mental health and some other things, maybe nutrition and making sure that all these things are in place?
Yes, thanks for that, Jide. First of all, we're glad to have been part of the Global Esports Federation, and that's one organization that looks into everything as regards esports, and that touches on the athletes' welfare, it touches on organization, it touches on convening, and that's why the 5 values of the organization, diversity, equality, fair play, inclusion, and innovation, all brings in these elements at one time or the other. So for an innovative approach, there was a partnership signed with a global organization, X, and that's as regards gamers' health. Interestingly, Cristiano Ronaldo, a global sensation in football, is an ambassador under that particular initiative. So that particular health initiative we expect will take off, and there is the Health and Wellness Commission, which is dedicated to ensuring all these things happen. So we, as the Africa Esports Development Federation, will only take a cue from the GEF, the global body, and domicile or domesticate every initiative that is being created right there from the headquarters. So gamers can be rest assured of this, the mental health and even nutritional health, because most times we think that nutritional health don't matter, and that's why before now gamers used to be geeks who are chubby because they supposedly just sit in one place and muscle on burgers and all that, but that's all that has changed, like I mentioned, with all these initiatives being put in place at the Global Esports Federation, and of course we have the Africa Esports Development Federation, which is just about a few weeks old, would look at what can be domiciled for the African region and ecosystem, and we would adopt and explore everything for all the countries that we will be working with.
All right. Well, before I let you go now, let's look at the Global Esports Games that is coming up in Singapore later in the year. The 2 Nigerians that have qualified now, those who came out from the qualifiers back home, have they actually qualified for the global game in Singapore? Or because I know that there are regions, still some qualifiers that will take place in some regions. So for Nigeria, is it straight to Singapore, or there are still other things to be done?
It's actually straight to Singapore for the 2 of them, and that's why we put out the communication on our social media platforms as such. And that's an outcome of the meeting we had just last week, where it was adopted by the organizing committee and approved by the board of the Global Esports Federation that the gamers for 2 titles, that's Street Fighter and eFootball PES 2021, can automatically qualify. It's only in the and those are individual games. But for the team sports, they'll be playing qualifiers for the African region, which I sit as the Secretary General of the AEDF. Of course, I'm interested in how well the teams that are playing the qualifiers will do, and we have 2 teams playing in the qualifiers. That's Mauritius and Djibouti playing in the Dota 2 title qualifiers against teams from Asia. So fingers crossed to see how those 2 will perform. I'm hoping one of them, of course, only one can top the group and qualify, so I'm hoping it will be one of them out of the 4 teams that are seated in Group D of the qualifiers in there. Well, for just in summary, we're excited because it looks like about 5-6 African countries will be representing the continent at the Global Esports Games, and that's a huge feat because before now we've seen so-called international competitions, so-called world competitions, all limiting the entry of African countries. We've seen even publishers not extending the drag net, if I can call it that, for African gamers to participate in the tournament. But all that is changing. We're seeing individual gamers. There's a fantastic lady who plays Tekken, who is also a commission member like myself on the GF commission, who has traveled to play in South Africa. Now she's traveling to play in France. Play Tekken in France. So we're seeing those things happening. There's the South African gamer that was meant to play at the FIFA E-World Cup, but the opportunity didn't happen because of restrictions with COVID. And so those windows are beginning to happen, open up for gamers to get international exposure, be part of global tournaments, international tournaments. And that's what the GEG is about to offer, with over 400 athletes coming in from across, athletes and officials coming in from across the world to be part of that esports festival of some sort, and it will be a huge celebration of the GEF's second year and, of course, the inaugural Mondial of Esports.
Okay, Shayo, I must say thank you very much for talking to us on Sport Exchange. Great work you are doing with the team.
Thank you, Judy.
I wish you all the best.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Judy, for having me.
All right, that was the Secretary General of Africa's Esports Development Federation, as well as the CEO, founder of Lagos Esports Forum, Shayo OWOLABI, talking to me about the road to the Global Esports Games, 2021. Okay, we go on a break, and when we come back, it will be time to sign off, but I won't do that until I've taken the dose of the offside for this week.
Fantastically finished.
All right. Anyway, it's been nice really talking about esports on the show today as well. And of course, taking you through some of the interesting news that you need to know as far as sports business is concerned. Before I go, here is our offside for this week. I just stumbled on this news and I thought that it's not only in Nigeria that it happens anyway. Look at it. This is happening to one of the biggest clubs on the continent of Africa. The management of the club, Al Ahly of Egypt, woke up on the wrong side of the bed and look at the quote there, for example. Mahmoud El Khatib, Al Ahly president, decided to impose a 300K fine on Al Ahly players, director of football, and the coaching staff after the disappointing performance in the Egyptian Super League on Tuesday. Despite the great support that the team receives to achieve titles and meet the expectation of fans, according to the club statement. So the clubs were fined. The players and the officials, technical team, were fined 300,000 Egyptian pounds. Wow. It's just like, you know, where do you see that happening, if not on the continent of Africa? I'm saying that, yes, it happens there in Nigeria, so it can also happen somewhere on the continent of Africa. Al Ahly to have joined the wagon, you know, finding players, you're reducing their salaries, you know, for not, after signing, after contractual agreements. I don't understand this. Maybe one day we will have someone to come talk to us how possible that is in a professional sport. Okay, that's it. Don't forget you can follow us on our social media handles. Yeah, Facebook, Sport Exchange 24 on Facebook. Like our Facebook page. And on Twitter, you can follow us on Sports Xchange24 on Twitter too. You can follow us, and on YouTube, you can follow our channel, TV360 Nigeria. Subscribe to our channel so that you can enjoy the best of all Sports Exchange episodes right from day one. And also some other interesting content on that channel. Believe me. Till I come your way next time, Jide Olaniran is my name. It's over, and I'm out.